So we're now going around the big bend here. 200 feet. We're sailing down the Mississippi River, the third largest river in the world in terms of area and rain. Followed in size only to the Nile and the rivers. Mississippi River drains two-thirds of all the
Money.
rivers in the United
Said that the
States.
Frenchman Court,
Drains all parts
the
of
market that I
34
want to go to is
states.
down here.
Two
Over here.
Canadian provinces. Its drainage here totals
Over there.
1,245,000 square miles. The river moved 400 million tons of fill annually. 1 million cubic feet of water per second going out of Old Gulf. There's no tap, no salt, due to the tremendous outflow of the Mississippi. Million cubic feet of water per second. City of New Orleans lies exactly
New Orleans Jazz Boat Cruise.
by the way the crow flies, 60 miles. The Mississippi River begins all the way to Lake Tasman. It drains out down at this end into the Gulf. 2,340 miles. One end of the river to the other end. 2,340 miles of the Mississippi. We just went over the deepest part. Now these docks left over here coming up, they were destroyed over 19 years ago by Hurricane Katrina. August of 1975. There was a train that was parked back over to the left here, draining into the city. Lightning struck some tank cars back there, caused a big explosion. All these docks who left what they call American Freedom. They burned all the way down. Now years after the storm, the city turned it into a park. This section on the left here, this is called Crescent Park now, the very name of the park. Look straight over there, you'll see some swing sets. There's some people over there standing setting. This dock to the left here, we have a lot of festivals, a lot of concerts out here all year round. A lot of good entertainment, a lot of good food and drinks, bicycle trips. People come out here day and night with their skateboards, their roller skates, their bicycles. They got nice little jogging pads all the way down to Heathens, Plymouth Street now. They can do their daily exercises, running through the park and everything. Very nice park, folks. They come out here day and night just to sit along the riverfront out here. Watch the river traffic going up and down the Mississippi. Now that great looking building you see over there, that's the NOCA building. NOCA, standing for New Orleans Center for Creative Park Building. And that old brick building over there, that was the old cotton steam press building. Back when cotton was king on the old steam press. Later it became the rice factory. Now that old building dates back to 1800.
Wow.
Back in 1965, Hurricane Betsy hit our city, a Category 4 storm. Look at the top of the building. You see the name up there? You are beautiful. Take a look real close.
God, I can't let y'all see it close.
Hurricane Betsy ripped a big part of the roof off it. Took out all those bricks up there near the top. Well, they restored the old building after Betsy. They turned it into some nice apartments. People live up in this old brick building. Very nice apartments now. But originally it was the old cotton steam press building. Very nice apartments. So we're cruising down the river. Making about 12 miles an hour. Going downstream. Top speed on the steamboat Natchez about 16 miles an hour when it's full ahead. Now you see that concrete structure over there? That's part of one of the old docks was left of it. You see there to the left. Behind that wall over there, you see the old rusty rainbow bridge over there. They put that bridge in when they opened the park. Those folks that live back over to the left there. Every day. That way they don't have to crawl and make those streetcars back there. They got a nice bridge over there. They go over and on the streetcars into the park. So they go in and out their neighborhood into the park safely. The old rusty rainbow bridge. You see it on the left here. So you're riding aboard a real steamboat, folks. Steamboat Natchez, powered by steam engines.
New
The
Orleans
engine
steamboat.
was 100 years old.
That's what I'm on.
1965. All that equipment in the engine was back there. It's turning that big red and white 26-ton paddle. Steam equipment.
New
That
Orleans.
paddle wheel back there does it all, folks. paddle wheel cars and engines. If that paddle wheel stops, we stop. We'd have to get a tugboat to tow us back to our dock. So the paddle wheel is for real.
Oh, look at those boats.
You can come see the engine room, that's right. Come see the steam engine room. You can actually see the steam engines moving back and forth, folks. Come down and see the engine room. It's open to the public. All the equipment, almost 100 years old. Steamboat Natchez, April 12th, was her birthday. She turned 50 years. So all the engine equipment is almost 50 years older than the boat. Came off of another steamboat named the Clareton, owned by the U.S. Steamboat. We transferred all the equipment from the steamboat Clareton, put it aboard the Natchez when she was built at the shipyard in 1975, downriver ahead of us, 30 miles downstream. Braithwaite, Louisiana. First one machine shop. $5 billion.
Look at the shipboat. That's
This is the
nice.
single tanker barge up here. Look at the big barge, fully loaded.
Nice.
Ocean Ocean tanker. Now those two big gray ships over here, these are military supply vessels. The Cape Kennedy and the Cape Knox. Part of the ready reserve fleet. The government has about 40 of these big ships around the country. They keep some here in the south, some over on the west coast, and some over on the east coast. They're called rural ships. They got very large ramps on the sternum. Look to the right here. This is an upbound tanker. That's the number one import is petroleum. This tanker heading up the river on the docks upstream. Exxon, Shell, Chevron pickup these all the way up to Baton Rouge,
Look at
Louisiana.
there. That is
This is an
nice.
upbound tanker. This is one of the LPGs, liquefied petroleum gas. Again, these are military supply ships that live here.
Look at those.
They call it
Artillery
rowboat ships. They got
ships.
big ramps on the back and the stern. That black line there you see on the hull, that's the legal load. You're going to see these numbers. Look at the bow. You see all those numbers on the middle, back of the stern. The numbers that you view today on these vessels are called the draft marks. The draft marks indicate how much water the vessel can draw or the draft of the ship. That is the measurement from that water line to the keel or the bottom of the ship. That's the legal load line. The ship cannot be loaded above that pipe line you said. That's as far as they go. Right up to that pipe. But they're by the insurance industry to keep the captain honest. To keep you from overloading the ship. Those are called the draft marks. Now take a look at the stern. That's too fast. You see the ramp is down on the inside of the ship. You can't get it. There it is. Look at it folded out on the dock. That's why they call them railroad ships. They roll on, they roll off that big ramp there. These ships are very fast. They're powered by steam turbines. These big ships here, they cross the Atlantic Ocean in 6.5 days. Very fast. Top speed up around 35 miles an hour. Now look over there, you see the opening in the levee there. That's the intercoastal waterways we're passing. Yeah, I see the Inner Harbor Navigational Canal. It's also known as the Industrial Canal. It links the Mississippi River to Lake Pontchartrain. The canal was dug through the Lebanon River back in 1921. This takes you east. If you take a left turn here with the vessel, we go through locks back here near the St. Paul Bridge. The industrial locks enable vessels to be lowered from higher elevations of the Mississippi River to the lower levels of Lake Pontchartrain, which is at sea level. So this continues on east over to Lake Pontchartrain, down the Mississippi,
Look at that
Alabama,
ship.
and Florida.
Going down the Mississippi. New Orleans, y'all. Wow. one more. Let me see if I can stand up and show y'all. This is the ship. Ship is pretty.
So right up, this is a repair yard. Undergoing some repair work. They repair all these big ships, towboats, tugboats, barges, and also passengers. We have another ship coming up on the right over here, another uptown ship. We pass it off for starboard side. Very busy port for us. We make our ports like home. See the ship coming up here. This is an empty bulk carrier heading up to one of the grain elevators, low grain.
I'm on the left side. That's
One export grain, corn, soybean. So that ship you see there is on its way up to one of the grain elevators. Got 10 grain elevators here in the port of South Louisiana. Most of the ships are coming in for grain and corn and soybean. Number one import is petroleum. We have many, many refineries here on the Mississippi. Exxon, Shell, Chevron, some of the bigger companies all the way up river behind us. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 135 miles above the city of New Orleans. Again, the steamboat Natchez built down the river 30 miles. Little town down there, Brickway, Louisiana, 1975. 5 million she cost to build. All steel, 3 decks, 285 feet long, 46 feet wide. And she has a draft of almost 6 feet. She's flat bottom. That's all we need to float this big boat. 6 feet of water. We can go all the way up to Canada, all the way to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on the Ohio River. You only need 6 feet of water. Steamboat Natchez is 1,384 gross tons, and we are inspected by the United States Coast Guard, and we're certified to carry on board the Natchez 1,233 passengers and crew. That's our capacity, 1,233. And we have 2 big boilers under those black smokestacks up on the rooftop there. Those smokestacks are real, folks. They're hooked up down below here on the main deck to 2 big 800 horsepower boilers. The chief engineer, he gave the boilers a name. We named them Thelma and Louise. Thelma's on the port side, Louise is on the starboard.
Thelma and Louise.
Diesel, that's what's heating up the water in the boilers. That's what's making the steam for those old engines back there in the engine room. Diesel fuel. Back in the old days, he used to burn coal engines. And over the years, the regulations changed due to air pollution. So the Coast Guard, they forced all of those back then burning coal to switch over to diesel. Don't have all that black smoke coming out of the stacks anymore. So that's what we're burning, diesel. 200 pounds per square inch of steam pressure. Going back to the old steam engine. That's a tugboat to the left there passing. Look at that big boat in front of it. Tugboat's tugging and pulling on the next engine department. They help them get it away from the dock spaces. That's a tugboat.
Tugboat.
This is Airville, Louisiana. To our left here, Perry, Louisiana. Here in Louisiana, we have parishes instead of counties. We have 64. This left New Orleans are about 14 parishes. And we're now in St. Bernard parishes of left here. You gotta be careful while we're on the boat. Please keep the handrails going up and down the stairways.
That's like a church.
This is a non-smoking vessel, no smoking or vaping during the cruise weeks. We have bars on all 3 levels. Down here, bottom deck, captain's lounge bar and snack bar. We have one food down here, we did buy the regular dinner. In the dining room, come on down, we got all the food downstairs here. We got some cookies and pastries, potato chips. So come on down. We got some alligator sauce here, folks. Come on down, try some.
You heard
On the
it.
bottom deck,
Alligator sausage. They love alligators out here.
The second seating comes up at 7:45. The gift shop's up on the 3rd deck, up near the smokestacks up there. We're on the top deck there. Stop in and check out the souvenirs and our gift shops. There goes the Coast Guard patrol boat there passing to our right.
We should have been on the right. There's a lot of boats on that side.
Patrols the port. That's the sugar refinery on the left over here, Domino Sugar. Constructed back in 1905.
Domino Sugar.
Sugar refinery in the world. The largest one is in Brazil.
Domino Sugar.
All sugar is from here. All the sugar from right in the state of Louisiana to be refined. Your ships are loaded with 100-pound sacks of pure refined sugar.
Oh, that's Domino
Markets
Sugar.
are also filled with
You guys, that's where they make it.
behind us all the way up to Louisville,
I'm waiting y'all to see, let y'all see the sign. It say Domino's. You see that yellow? Ah, that's cute. They blow the horn, they blow their horn. That's Domino Sugar, y'all, right there. The yellow building, the yellow sign on the building. That's another boat. Domino Sugar. That's where they make the Domino Sugar.
She makes it to her dinner trip also there. But tonight, folks, you make the right choice. You're riding aboard the real boat, the famous steamboat Natchez. A real steam stern motor steamboat.
You hear that? I'm on a real steamboat.
They're almost 100 years old.
Louisiana.
Made the right choice.
Riding down the Mississippi River. Oh yeah, that's another part of the Domino.
Chalmette National Park on the left over here. Battle took place here on the 8th day of January, 1850. General Andrew Jackson, famous park, John Lafitte. He teamed up on the left over here behind that monument rising up over there. Andrew Jackson, John Lafitte, the famous park. Famous General Andrew Jackson, back over there to the left. By the Rodriguez Canal. They dug in along the bank back there, with a handful of Kentucky lowriders, Tennessee volunteers, Choctaw Indians, and John Lafitte's parties defeated the British in the Battle of New Orleans. The British came out of the swamps down here to the left. You see that big smokestack? They marched across this field to the left here. Back in those days when the treaty was signed in Belgium, neither side knew the war was over. Time the information got over here, it was almost 2 weeks too late. The battle had already taken place. So there was a lot of innocent lives that were lost here because of the way communications traveled back then. Americans claimed the Louisiana territories was preserved. Chalmette battlefield on the left. The Battle of New Orleans. The last battle of War, 1820. Also the last battle ever fought between England and the United States. Chalmette battle. Well, folks, we're getting ready to make that turn. This is Chalmette. We're going to turn around and back up the river. The band's getting ready to come back up there. Top deck there. Famous Dukes of Dixieland. Get ready to come back.
I'll be come.
Second season also coming up. 7:45. So have a good time, folks. Come see me.